It's Perp back with another video, and I just got done checking out Chucky Season 1, Episode 5, and I have a lot of mixed things about this episode. But before I get into this episode, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, because I'm trying to hit 2K before the end of the year, so I got until next month to hit that goal. Definitely go check out these promos I got going for the Perp Show Awards. I got Best Anime out, Channel of the Year, Best Song, Best Album of the Year. So definitely go check that out and let me know your thoughts about that. With all that being said, let's get right into this review. Don't want to waste no more time. So starting off with the stuff that I didn't really like that could have been better is we get this opening scene of Chucky, back in the 80s, back where before he got killed and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And we get kind of the origin of how he met Tiff, and I felt like this was really lazy overall, just having the Chucky voiceover this actor, and it wasn't the real actor, and they did the same thing with Tiff. It was just really lazy, and how Chucky got his name, it was just kind of weird. It just kind of really felt forced. I thought that they could have done something really interesting. I do like kind of the flip where, you get introduced to this blonde that you think is Tiff because she's kind of crazy, but ends up being this other chick. That's just my major flaw of this episode, just kind of getting into that. So Caroline wakes up. We're in present day. She wants to know where Chucky's at. Sees Chucky, his face is burnt. Doesn't want anything to do with Chucky. Hates Chucky. And you really see in this episode how bad Lexi's parents are and how, they treat her like shit. Mostly the mom. The mom really treats Lexi like shit, and you see how coddled this child is. I'm talking about Caroline, and how much they spoil her and just don't give a fuck about Lexi. It's kind of fucked up, and this episode really did a good job of making me actually sympathize for Lexi and kind of look at Lexi in a different light. That's just me. So the dad decides to throw out Chucky, and the three decide to go finish him off. They go into where they throw all the hazmat stuff, like the needles and the used stuff. They come up with the dumbest idea here, though. They were about to really jump in this disease-infested dumpster just to find Chucky, but obviously they end up just getting like a stick or a broom to try to get him out of there, And now things start to get more interesting because you start to see Lexi and Devin and also Jake start to hang out more, and Junior's kind of getting he's kind of getting treated like an outcast, if that's a good way to say it. Lexi makes the point that, he won't understand none of this. This stuff is crazy. Nobody's going to believe us, so it's best to just not let Junior know what's going on. But Junior is curious anyway, so he tries to insert himself in the conversation by mentioning Westworld, which Westworld is a dope show, and it's kind of ironic how they reference that show, in my opinion. I still think, though, that Jake's biology teacher, Mrs. F, is Glenda. I think this is Glenda grown up. I still believe that, because whilst it's just kind of weird that she would be a biology teacher, and just the way she talks just makes me think that there's more than meets the eye with her character. Now, we get to the scene with Jake and Devin. Devin's kind of opening himself up to Jake, and they're starting to bond more. They actually hold hands for a weird period of time, because there's this time lapse. That was kind of weird and goofy to me, but that's cool. Good for Jake and them, kind of accepting one another and whatnot. I got no issues with that, it's whatever. It's gonna be curious to see where that goes in the future. with Devin's mom. We'll get into that. Speaking of which, this is the true villain of this show, and which really made me think differently about Lexi's character. Her mom is a terrible person, a terrible mayor. She's willing to just come out and say, like, yo, we could use the townspeople's tax money to pay to fix this house and whatnot. Lexi kind of talks back to her mom, which leads her mom to kind of ground her and say, yo, you can't go nowhere. Just completely just shitting on just Lexi, and just, she's a terrible person, bro. And now it all makes sense why Lexi is acting the way that she's acting out towards Jake. Makes complete sense. So now a new good guy pops up named Tommy. Don't know where this came from. Maybe that had something to do with Tiff. Maybe because the dad bought it randomly offline or something like that. Lexi makes a good opportunity just to fuck up this doll because she thinks that it's Chucky. And that was a dope ass scene for me, but it definitely made Lexi kind of look crazy. So we get into some more family drama at the dinner table as we have Logan talking to Junior about being able to continue his sports and continue his activities. And it seems pretty fast. Things are moving really fast. Junior's doesn't really like doing any of this stuff, but he has no choice. We also get a little bit more of Bree's character and exactly what her secret is and where she kind of stands between, you know, Logan and Junior, as far as she also thinks that Logan is pushing Junior way too far. So Junior, to kind of get the attention off of him, looks at Jake because his phone is just getting blown up, sees that he's getting texts from Lexi, and, you know, Junior's just like, yo, why is she texting you? Why is she texting you? And just, you know, this is where you could see that Logan plays favorites. He's not gonna go off on Jake, but he definitely will go off on Junior, and I think that's what Junior is afraid of, his dad lashing out on him physically. So Jake's able to get to his phone and see the text message that was sent from Lexi, that he's got the picture that there's another good guy doll, and it's weird that, you know, that the dad, Caroline's dad, sees the burnt Chucky doll in there and just is about to throw it out once again. Then we get another scene of, you know, pretty much Lexi's mom, Michelle, putting the blame on Lexi. And this is where the dad, Nate, finally kind of steps in and says, yo, you're bugging. You need to relax. You need to calm down. We need to kind of think about this more rationally. And this is the thing. The dad waits till now to kind of start to pump his chest out. And it's like, it's too late, man. You need to start putting your foot down now. Instead, stop letting this woman run all over you. And maybe there's more to that. We'll probably get more backstory on their past or something like that, and why he's sticking with her. I don't know, because if it was me, I would have been out. But anyways, the gang gets together and they decide to, you know, gang up on Chucky because the father threw it out in the trash, so they're going to try to put him in this, like, sack thing. They fuck Chucky up. Well, they think they fuck Chucky up because they see the burnt one and it's all in pieces, not knowing that the real Chucky still has, like, human insides and stuff like that. Even Jake's kind of, like, iffy about it, but they all kind of celebrate defeating Chucky. It's not that easy, and they're going to find out that it's going to be more complicated and more difficult to kill Chucky. Anyways, now here is where we get some really interesting things that kind of change a lot of things that are going to go on with Junior and just this whole family. Bree's whole secret is that she has stage 4 cancer. I thought it was going to be something like she's been cheating or she was going to try to get a divorce from Logan. But having cancer, that kind of changes everything. I think if Junior gets that news, it's going to change things. I have some theories at the end of this. So we finally catch up with Nika and Tiff, and they're just going on this whole kind of killing spree because Chucky, a piece of Chucky is in Nina's body, and God, Nina's looking thick. Shouts to Fiona Dorff, looking thick, looking good. But here's the interesting thing that happens in this episode. So Nika's able to kind of come back for a temporary moment. So I think this is going to have drawbacks, like Chucky kind of jumping bodies or putting his soul into different things. I think it's going to have its limitations, and it's showing with Nika's character. But Chucky's quickly able to kind of take back control and whatnot. So Chucky ends up killing this guy that they kind of have tied up and stuff like that, and they just hit the road because they can't stick around. And I like that Tiff kind of brings up the whole Swedish meatballs thing, because that kind of is a callback to Bride of Chucky. Really dope stuff. As we get to the end of the episode, the gang is trying to figure out, all right, Chucky's gone, he's dead, he's completely out of her life, but Junior kind of just tries to insert himself once again, and he wants to know what's going on, and Lexi pretty much tells him exactly what's going on, and it's exactly how Lexi thought it would go. Junior does not believe them. Now, one thing about Junior, I have a prediction that would be really interesting, because I thought they were going to go a certain way with Jake's character. I thought they were going to kind of make him the bad guy. But what if they flipped the script and made Junior the bad guy? Stay with me, because I will give you my thoughts on that at the end of this review. So now, getting to this kind of like assembly thing that they got going on, that the mayor kind of wants to bring everybody together to literally put out this bullshit ass kind of speech. And as soon as she starts talking, she just gets booed. But then Devin's mom steps in and says, look, there's a curfew being implemented right now, so nobody out at this specific time till we figure out everything that's going on in this town, because there's a lot of deaths that are happening. And I like that also, before we get into this, that Nate, the dad of Lexi, pretty much told Michelle that you were never good at juggling these jobs. You're not a good mother, and you're not a good mayor. And that really shows in this scene where she's really crying. You could see her crying. But anyways, as this whole speech is kind of going on, this head rolls out, and it's the principal. Chucky cuts off the head with the principal, and this is definitely my favorite kill of the season thus far. We'll have to wait and see with the rest of the episodes, but the episode pretty much ends with them showing Chucky and how he swapped bodies, which honestly, I felt like they should have showed this scene earlier and then just ended the episode off with everybody in shock with the principal being killed. I thought that would have been a better finale, but this episode I have my gripes with, like the whole going into Chucky's past and stuff. I was digging it up until a point. I just think it was a little bit lazy, and it I don't know. How y'all feel about this episode in the comments below? Let me know. How do you feel about how they're doing Chucky's backstory, how Chucky got his name, you know what I'm saying, how the powers of Chucky works? Let me know your thoughts and feelings. Till next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.